It is May 10th at 2:29 p.m. Pacific Time, and you are looking at a live view of the upgraded Falcon 9 rocket as it awaits liftoff from the SpaceX launch pad in approximately 17 minutes. Welcome to today's live webcast for the Bangabandhu Satellite 1 mission from Pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. My name is Tom Perderio, and I'm a firmware engineer in the avionics department here at SpaceX. Today's launch is a particularly exciting one as we have two important milestones taking place. The first milestone is that the payload, Bangabandhu Satellite 1, will be the first official geostationary communications satellite for the nation of Bangladesh. The second milestone today is that this is the debut of a series of upgrades to Falcon 9 that we're calling Block 5. These upgrades are designed to allow us to reuse each Falcon 9 10 times or more, and also reduce refurbishment time between flights. Falcon 9 today will deliver Bangabandhu Satellite 1 to geostationary transfer orbit, also known as GTO. After that, we will be attempting to recover this first stage on Of Course I Still Love You, which is our drone ship currently stationed about 340 nautical miles downrange in the Atlantic Ocean. If successful, this will mark the 25th successful landing for SpaceX. As you can see, we've got a lot to cover in today's webcast, so let's get started.
Hi, I'm Lauren Lyons, and I'm an engineer here in our Flight Reliability Department. Now, for those of you joining us for the first time, just a little bit about Falcon 9. It's a two-stage rocket, each stage having its own engines and its own propellants. The first stage, which is this lower portion here, this is the part of the rocket that generates the tremendous thrust that's necessary in order to get the rocket through the most dense parts of Earth's lower atmosphere and accelerate the second stage and payload up to approximately 48,000 kilometers per hour. This is also the part of the rocket that we're going to be attempting to land on our drone ship after it separates from the second stage, which is sitting on top here. Stage 2 has a single Merlin engine that is optimized to operate in the vacuum of space, and it's going to be responsible for delivering Bangabandhu Sat 1 into its targeted geostationary transfer orbit. Now, at the very, very top of that rocket, that nose cone that you see there is called our payload fairing, and inside of it, Bangabandhu Satellite 1. The fairing is what protects the satellite from aerothermal heating and contamination as we travel through the Earth's atmosphere. But once we get into the vacuum of space, we jettison it, it'll separate from the rocket and fall back down to Earth. Now, if you've been watching our rockets for a while, you notice that Falcon 9 looks visibly different today. Most notably, we have this black inner stage, this black raceway cover, and these black landing legs. This is the color of our improved thermal protection system materials, or TPS as we call it, and it doesn't require painting. The new thermal protection material is a highly flame-resistant felt, which we expect to be more rapidly reusable than the cork that we previously used. Now, all these changes reflect our ongoing efforts to build not just reusable rockets, but rockets that are rapidly reusable. Eventually, we hope that rocket launches will become like commercial airplanes, where the rockets can be flown over and over again with minimal refurbishments in between. We'll talk more about the Block 5 upgrades later in the webcast, but with just a few minutes left before liftoff, let's get a status update.
Hi, I'm Michael Hammersley. I'm a materials engineer in our avionics department, and I'll be bringing you status updates on the vehicle. Falcon 9 rolled out to the pad with the Bangabandhu Satellite 1 payload last night at about 8 p.m. local time, and it went vertical at roughly 8 a.m. local time this morning. We went through the launch director's go, no-go poll held at about T-minus 2 hours, and we're currently working no issues on the vehicle. One of the several changes to Block 5 is in how we load propellant. We use a liquid kerosene fuel called RP1, and our oxidizer is liquid oxygen. Now, instead of starting with our fuel load at T-minus 70 minutes, we began loading both RP1 and liquid oxygen onto the first stage at T-minus 35 minutes. At the same time, we started loading RP1 onto the second stage. So the first stage is going to be continuing its fill just until a couple minutes before launch. It's at about 80% full of RP1 and 85% full of RP1 and about 80% of liquid oxygen. The second stage does its propellant loading sequentially. So its RP1 load is actually complete. That was finishing up at about T-minus 22 minutes. And the liquid oxygen load began just a few moments ago, and it's about 15% loaded at the moment. We pressurized the tanks with helium. Those are at just under 100%. We'll slowly be trickling in additional helium Those hold the pressure in the tanks when we're emptying the tanks of fuel during ascent. We're also planning on recovering the first stage of today's Falcon 9. The drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, is currently holding position 340 nautical miles southeast of Kennedy Space Center. And after stage separation around T plus 3.5 minutes or so, or 2.5 minutes or so, excuse me, we should be bringing you live coverage on its way back down. All told, vehicle's healthy at the moment. Payload's also healthy, and the range is a go. Weather-wise, we're watching some strong high-altitude winds and some thick cloud layers that are cooling to minus 20 degrees Celsius, but there's nothing that's looking like it's going to stop us from launching in 12 minutes from now.
Block 5 refers to a series of upgrades we've made to the Falcon 9 rocket as part of our ongoing effort to make spaceflight more like commercial air travel today, and that is to say safe, affordable, and utilizing vehicles that can be flown over and over again. Over time, the primary benefit of these Block 5 upgrades will be the capability to achieve rapid reusability with high reliability. Block 5 is designed for 10 or more flights with very limited refurbishment, but should be capable of additional flights with further testing and possibly additional refurbishment after that. In addition to the changes that Michael and Lauren have touched on, we've also made changes to the 9 Merlin engines on the bottom of the first stage of the Falcon 9.